Good morning, boys. Good morning, boys. We are here for another edition of Gap Wedge Wednesday. Jeff's here. Paulie Parputz is here. Chad, Country Club Chad's here. We're all here. We're going to recap the Masters. We're going to talk a little bit about the RBC. I'll let Paulie say where it's from. But let's get this thing going, guys. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. What are you playing in the background? What music is that?
I always play some Kenny Loggins in the background, man. Come on.
Who?
You know
Who's
that.
Kenny Loggins?
Yeah, Oh, get out of here.
What do you mean, get out of here?
Only the greatest
If you don't
soundtrack writer of all time.
I mean, can you give me an example of a Kenny Loggins song?
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you an idiot?
Have you heard Danger Zone from Top Gun?
I mean,
All right, cool, perfect. Yeah, I've heard that. It's a great song.
well, that's all you need to know then.
Well, what was the one you were just playing though?
I'm gonna guess
He's
it's
from
from
Caddy
Caddyshack.
Shack, right?
Oh, okay. I can't hear it very well, so sorry about
sorry.
that. I'm sorry for being an idiot, Chad. I'm gonna try to do better.
Yeah, be better.
You know, it's another beautiful Wednesday. Jeremy's birthday tomorrow. The 3-time over here celebrating, so we'll be, I'm sure, ringing in at midnight tonight. And
Oh, seriously?
Damn it.
what's wrong now, Chad? What happened this time?
Well, I know where y'all will be at midnight, and I know where I'll be at midnight.
You want us to not be there? Would you rather some other dickhead be there for you to be serving drinks to?
Oh, they're gonna be.
Well, they're going to be there too anyway, no matter what. So,
It is Wing Wednesday at our favorite
I guess we'll
spot.
just go to backstage. It is what it is. Find
Yeah.
us where you may.
go play some poker or something.
Perfect. Sounds great. We'll make sure to get in on that. Thank you so much for the hospitality that we receive over there at Kitty O'Shea's Irish Pub and Buffalo Bar. Definitely a big shout out. We appreciate you very much. It is a pleasure to be back here on Wednesday. Little recap. Obviously, Masters happened. Scottie Scheffler, he is inevitable. Obviously, we weren't going to be on him at 3-1. There's zero shot we're ever going to be on any golfer who's 3-1 to start a tournament, especially a tournament like the Masters. Listen, thoughts on just Scottie, some of the young guys, and some of the plays that we had this weekend, Paul?
Yeah, I think few surprises. A couple guys ejected that we expected to be there on the weekend.
Yeah.
A couple guys really overperformed what we expected. I think Colin Morikawa is probably the biggest surprise of the weekend for me. I thought Aberg overachieved a little bit, but he's going to be around. This guy is, as advertised, really good ball striker and going to be fun to watch for a while, looks like. Scottie's amazing on a course where not making mistakes is rewarded. He's the least mistake maker in golf right now, and maybe for the last 18 months, maybe the all-time best stretch of not making mistakes. So not to say that this is the best stretch of golf ever played, but how it's been played, of just safe and make par, don't make a mistake, make birdies when they're available. It's clinical. It really is just unbelievable.
Yeah, been pretty incredible to watch the run so far, even just this year. You know, and just a genuinely good dude as well too. Who, you know, you always want to root for. Chad, any thoughts that you had from this past weekend that we saw at the Masters, and maybe a surprise or something that you didn't have pegged that happened, and how it kind of affects us going forward?
I mean, like Paul was saying, it's pretty straightforward. Homa surprised me. He's never really played well there. Maybe he's starting to get that I can play majors golf bred into him now. So maybe we need to start considering him for majors now after a pretty decent showing. Lived up to their hype. I'd just like to say that. I mean, they had Big Bryson out there for the early easy day, and then when it got hard, pretty sure he never shot under par again.
He did not.
Yeah, so you know, shout out to that guy for just ruining day ones for us, like he always does. Ruins just about anything he touches. But other than that, Spieth was surprising. Well, I mean, Jesus, what do you have, like a 9 on 15 or something like that?
Jordan, Justin as well too. Was a tough one as well.
Just normal Masters again. Scottie Scheffler wins, the greatest, not the greatest, but the best golfer right now. So we said it's going to be top of the field. It's going to cream of the crop is going to rise. So, and it did.
Obviously, Tiger finishes DFL for those who ended up actually making the cut and going forward. He deemed the weekend a success and the week a success. I kind of touched on it a little bit. I feel like it is a success just because he made it through without any injury or setback. It seemed like he seemed to be in great spirits even on Sunday when he was playing like absolute dog shit. But he's playing with an amateur who was he just seemed to be kind of enjoying the round in the moment as well. Listen, I as a big Tiger fan, I know we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but Chad, any thoughts about Tiger, the week that was, and if we see him ever compete again in a major?
Yeah, Tiger actually did exactly what I felt like he was going to do. He was going to make the cut. If he was playing well enough to contend, he would have probably played better, I feel. But he made the cut, and then the Saturday didn't go as well as he thought it was going to go, so he just was out there just going through the motions, enjoying his time out there. But he set another record, his 24th straight Masters cut made. So,
yep.
I knew that was a big thing for him, so I felt like he was going to make the cut and then just go through the motions. And yes, he will definitely play in another major. This is Tiger Woods. This is pretty much all he's doing is going to be playing majors and maybe one little event here or there, like maybe his favorite courses or some stuff like that. But he's definitely going to be playing majors again. He's not done.
And Paul, I did see that he is committed to the is it PGA Championship that's coming up next?
Louisville.
I'm sorry,
Tiger.
Tiger. Yeah, he committed to whatever the next major is. It PGA Championship or U.S. Open next that we have?
I think the U.S. Open is next.
Okay. Valhalla.
Valhalla, I believe. And he has to play that.
Then no, PGA Championships.
PGA.
Okay, PGA is next. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
He said he wants to play in all 4 majors this year.
He said he's going to play in all 4 majors. Do we think? And listen, we talked about it a little bit about the strenuousness of walking. Yes, the strain of walking Augusta National. Kapalua number 1, Augusta number 2, Riviera number 3 in terms of courses that are tough to walk on your body. So encouraging signs that he made it through the tournament. But do we think that he'll ever compete again in a tournament, Paul?
It's hard to say no. If he has, he's won a major on one leg. So, at some point, maybe the stars align and he is, he shows himself through that. I really think the 23 or 24 holes or whatever it was that he played on Friday did him in for the weekend. I mean, he played. It's 9 hours of golf that he was on the course for. So
I always wonder about that too. Like a guy like that, like, is it better? He had a morning tee time on Friday, and he had to finish Friday morning. So is it easier for him to just roll right into that round, or because of everything that he has to go through, is it better for him to take a break? And let's say he tees off at 2:30 and finishes at 8, and he's got 6 hours in between from when he tees off. I always wonder with his body how those little things will truly affect him, and obviously we saw it affect him into the weekend. But that being said, any other thoughts we have for the Masters from you, Chad, about this weekend?
No, I mean,
question?
What?
Which part?
Like Friday, him playing that long, and then just you don't know if it's good or bad or
what? None of us are doctors, and none of us really know Tiger's body. So I was just
Yeah.
saying, like, I feel like, and no, it wasn't a question for you to answer. It was just kind of like, I wonder what is better for him. I don't have an answer, and I'm assuming I don't think either of you have an answer. So,
Well, I have a speculation.
okay, what's your speculation?
I think it happening the way it did helped him to make the cut, but hurt him on the weekend.
Correct.
I think going out and playing straight 9 hours of golf was a benefit because there's no additional warm up. But his problem isn't playing golf, it's recovery. So he's mentioned that recovery is the problem.
Yeah.
So the playing, it's tougher to recover from. This, by the way, I don't have to be a doctor to know that it's more difficult to recover from 9 hours of golf than it is from 5 hours of golf.
But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I love that for us as
There
well.
we go.
Considering we all stayed at Holiday Inn Expresses last night. Shout out to Jeremy for the rooms. We definitely appreciate it. Paul, we are moving into the RBC Heritage this week as well. Is that correct?
True.
Perfect. And that is played in Hobbatown?
Yeah. Yep. That's in South Carolina. It's at Hilton Head.
Okay.
Harbortown Golf Links. It is a par 71. It's just over 7,200 yards. It's 13 yards over 7,200. And this happened likely, it used to be under 7,200, but they just recently added a new tee on number 7 for before last year. So I'm going to guess that has something to do with the additional 13 yards. The greens are small here, just larger than Pebble Beach at 3,700 square feet on average. They are the Bermuda that we've been used to playing here in the Florida swing. It's going to have that Poa trivial nonsense, but it's Bermuda. Listed at 11.5 on the stimp, so not the fastest greens we've seen recently. And there is water in play on every hole, but that, as Chad's mentioned in the past, that doesn't mean water is trouble on every hole.
Is this the one with the
is
drivable par 4 with the water on the left? No. Just joking. We're going to keep
no.
I think I'm thinking about Austin and match play.
Yeah. Austin
Yeah.
has one of those. Waste Management has one of those.
Yeah.
This one has the iconic lighthouse.
The lighthouse hole, right?
Hence Paul's avatar today.
It's a beautiful avatar, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So we got the logistics of the course. Chad, what kind of players are we looking at this week in terms of game-wise we're going to target?
We're going to be looking at some guys that are mainly approach. Off the tee is not a very big thing here.
Pretty short, right? 72?
Yeah, it's short. So a lot of guys are going to be going less than driver off the tee, just put it in a spot where you're going to be able to hit your approach, because these guys want to be at a good number for themselves, because like Paul said, the greens are so small that you want to make sure you're sticking them. With that being said, green regulation is a big stat this week, also around the green, because you're going to be missing the greens because they're so small. So your short game is going to be key this week with the putting on Bermuda. You guys, one of the key stats is going to be the proximity from 150 to 175, because you want to be making sure that you're hitting close enough to make your birdies when you can, because it's going to be not necessarily a birdie fest, but you're going to have to make a lot of birdies and stay away from danger. So ball striking is going to be key.
All right, so we're looking at more iron play and touch around the greens than we are maybe lengthy guys off the tee. Paul, how's the rough this week? Is it pretty penal, or what are we looking at?
No, less penal.
Less penal. Are there any
Yeah,
guys?
Rough is down from last year.
Okay.
So
Alright.
so last year's cut of 2.5 inches, it's down further than that. So it's less than 2.5 inches of peen, as we like to say.
Yeah, it's a pretty good number. Paul, that being said, with the equation and the formula that we have going forward this week, any guys at the top of the board who we like the number on, who we think we might anchor our DFS or card around, or really stick our flag in as our champion this week at the top of the board?
So this is an elevated event. There are only 70 players in the field, and it's you can argue that it's a stronger or just as strong of a field as last week, because there are not Larry Mize isn't teeing it up this week. VJ Singh's not in the field.
Bud
VJ made the
Colley's not
cut.
here.
Yeah, you can make the cut. Whatever that, what's his name? Shipley, the Ohio State kid that played with Tiger on Sunday.
Neil Shipley.
Yeah.
Who didn't get anything handed to him.
What a weird interaction that was, huh?
Please don't ask. It was so strange. I have no opinion or speculation or anything about it, but it's just like.
And then for the press conference to abruptly end right there, it's like I don't know, very, very interesting as well too. Yeah. All right. So really strong field, which is going to be tough.
No.
We still have the guys in here who we thought might get pulled out last week for their wives giving birth. However, they're back to the field this week. How do we kind of look at some of these things and figure out what we want to do?
Well, Scottie Scheffler has better odds to win this event than he did last week.
Right.
And Chad mentioned ball striking and being able to play tee to green. And there isn't a better player on earth than Scottie Scheffler. Now we're at 4.5 to 1. I'm not going to bet it. It's him and Sam Burns with they're best friends and their wives are having a baby within a week of each other. Yeah. I mean, fellas, you don't have to do everything together,
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
You think they were making eye contact mid-stroke,
So, well, probably on the putting green, yeah. But anything else you were referring to is gross. So, could they both withdraw? They didn't 9 months ago, so I don't know if they're going to pull out of this one either.
Always a good one. Now, okay, so we said 4 on Scottie. We're probably out on that. However, Scottie's had some good first rounds lately, I feel like, as well, too. And not to kind of get too far ahead of ourselves, but the number is always way better on his FRL. He's caught a couple of top twos here the last few weeks. Maybe he breaks through, and maybe you like that number a little bit better at 10 to 1 for a first round leader.
Yeah, I could see that.
Anybody that we like up there? I mean, I know Rory's up there as well, too, for top of the board for regular tournament. Xander's up there as well. That we have Ludwig from last week as well. Anybody that we like up there at that number?
I'm going to go with a no. You mentioned Rory. Fun fact, he hates this course. He said he would never play it again, but they made it a signature event, so he has to. So anything you see with him, fade it. Matchups.
Too much noise around him right now, too, with him having to deny all the live stuff, and it's a lot.
Yeah, I would. And then here's the thing with playing after the Masters the week after. A lot of guys that are in contention don't usually play very well because of the stress that they put on themselves on the grind to try to win the Masters. So, like Xander, Ludwig, Homa, Morikawa, those guys, I would at the top. I would not be on them personally because I don't see them coming out even though it's a signature event. It's so hard to come back the week after Masters and play well again. So I wouldn't be on those guys. my top, the top I'm looking at is 30-1. It's Cam Young and Russell Henley.
Okay.
Cam Young plays elevated events very well. He plays better in stronger fields, I feel like, than he does weaker fields. He's always up the top. You see like Masters or majors. So I feel like something about it just gets him up to play better events. And then Russell Henley's a guy that he's always going to hit it in the fairway. His approach game is great. If his putter gets a little hot, then this is a perfect type of course for him because it's not very long off the tee. He's like a plotter. That's the type of guys that win here, like Webb Simpson, Stuart Sink. These kind of guys that they're not going to be long off the tee, but they can position the balls where they want to. So
They
those
know
type
how
of
to
guys,
use their length.
yeah. Yep.
Well, anybody you like in that range, that 30 to 40 range, before we start getting into some long shots around there?
So, in an event with Scottie, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. He is now at the point where he is same way peak Tiger was.
There's a reason why he's made $12.6 million in 35 days.
Yeah.
So
he's doing fine. I think it's time for a new car, buddy. But the guys who are
Gonna get a Pacifica
after him, right? He's by far number one on our model. If you run any model that is anything to do with recent form, Scheffler is number one in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, and 2 in 1, 2, 3 categories. So he's 1 or 2 in 80% of the categories that we're looking at. So he's by far number one. Number 2 on the model is Aberg, Obear, or whatever hell we're calling him. Then Bhatia, Xander, Corey Connors, Tom Hoagie, Taylor Moore, Denny McCarthy, Christian Bezaden, and Lucas Glover. Russell Henley and Siwoo Kim round out the top 12. I'm not going to keep going with the list. There are guys who maybe offer some value who have played well here. Cam Davis is a guy we've already bet. You can get him anywhere from 50 to 70. He plays well here. Is he going to win? Maybe. Small bet on the outright, and then a little bit more on a 10 or 20. And I think that's the philosophy Chad and I are really following this week. So guys that I know Chad has a list of guys who played here well and have value. And I think that's just our philosophy this week going into an elevated event. Don't forget there's another event going on in the Dominican Republic that we're going to get to. So we'll have a little bit of that, and it's an opportunity to maybe hit a double. So if you think Scottie's going to play, you match Scottie with another winner from Punta Cana, or you'd like, Obear to cash in his 14-1 or whatever it is. Pair him up with, your favorite player from the Dominican, and now you're in. I mean, those hits are usually pretty nice. Anyway,
Jim, any whatabouts you got for the boys in terms of guys who you have circled, baby?
Wow, you're calling me out early. I like one guy that's really done really well here. That I think is got a great iron play. Is my brethren. That would be Adam Svensson. I like him. His iron play does really well. He's made cuts here the last 2 years. He's gaining 5 strokes on the approach on both of those cuts that he made, and he has also won at Sea Island before. So I think he's one of my guys I like to look for.
Heard that. I guess my what about I don't even know if it should be a what about, because the guy's only 30-1 on what I'm looking at right now, and that's Chad's favorite guy always. You know who it is, Chad.
Yeah, he's great. Maybe a bounce back for him.
Well,
Who
you
really
talked about
knows?
being good around the greens, because there will be some proximity misses, and I feel like Sahith is he's got really nice hands and really soft touch around the green. I
I
don't know.
mean, there's reason that he's been compared to Jordan Spieth, like his game.
Yeah.
His short game is amazing. So I
Has
could see Sahith going well here also, but it's just
it
at
almost
30.
feels like the
uh,
numbers grown too much, that we know too much about him, that where like if he was at 40 or 50 it's an automatic play, but at 30 it's kind of like
Yeah,
okay, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly. He's gotten to where they're giving him a lot of respect because he's been playing well. Like that's the thing is every time you see a leaderboard, he's up there. It seems like so, and I just don't know. Here's another thing with a course like this: it brings these other guys that are great approach guys. Like they get to a certain number that they feel like they just have it every time. Like like you get to that one club that you have in your bag that you feel like you can hit it great 90% of the time.
yeah,
These
7 iron.
this kind of course right here is sets it up for these guys to do that, and these are the best in the world. So like this kind of course brings everyone back down to earth. Like that's I was talking to Paul about it. Why Scottie's so good at the majors and long courses because he's the type of guy that no matter what club you have to hit, most likely he can hit it better than everyone else.
Yeah.
But these other guys, they can hit this 1 iron, like they can hit, like you said, there's 7 iron, like they can hit it within 10 to 15 feet every single time. Like they have that feeling. So a course like this kind of gets those guys back in it because they can do that with that one club. They can put themselves in positions where they're going to be hitting that club a lot more often than like the Masters, where you can't always put yourself in a position to hit the club that you want. They make you hit the club that they want you to. So
So
it's
right,
like
yeah. So right now, for you guys, I have Henley, Davis, McCarthy, Hoagie, Connors. Is there anybody that I'm missing right now?
when did we? Who said those?
Yeah,
Well, those were guys
I was
that
no, I
Paul
was
went
reading.
down the line of, like, these are guys that are
No,
top
I
on
just
our
read the
model.
model.
Okay,
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
I'll
Yeah,
erase
no.
all those.
Yeah, we're
yeah. We just got Young and Henley right now.
Okay, all right. Anybody else that we like in the tournament?
Speaking of coming off being good off the tee and great approach, guys like Brian Harmon, Corey Connors, Lucas Glover. You got those three guys. Great tee to green game. Usually, whenever Harmon is on, he's stroking it really well, and he'll be making putts. So if he gets into that form when he's hitting it well, then he's going to be pretty hard to beat at 50-1. We like Paul said, we did already bet Cam Davis at 60. Seems like an absurd number. I get it; it's a signature event, but it's also a smaller field. You got the best guys are going to be here, but he's had 2 top 7s his last 2 times here, third and the seventh, and I believe his other one was a top 20 also. So it's a guy that loves the course. So at 60-1, it's kind of crazy. I don't understand it. Another guy who has won a signature event already at a similar type, shorter course, not a very long one, is Chris Kirk. He was at 6-1 also, so I can see him doing very well. Taylor Moore is a guy that's rounding into all-around golfer. I think Paul mentioned him in our model as pretty high.
number 7.
Okay, number 7, yeah. So he's a guy I feel like he's running into form at 75-1. I feel like it's a great number for him. And you did mention Hogue earlier, but he is on our list. He's a great iron player, good putter. The only thing that he's been lacking lately is his drive off the tee, but that's the one thing about here. You're not going to be hitting driver off the tee a lot. It's a positional course, so you're going to be downsizing to a 3-wood or irons off the tee, which is going to play perfect for him. And another guy I feel like is Emiliano Grillo. He's sneaky good with his irons, and his putting has gotten a lot better this year. He's another guy that when was holding him back was his putter, and now he's developed a better putt better putting game. So I feel like this would be a course that suits him well. When he won at the Charles Schwab, it was this exact same kind of setup, a shorter course. Iron play was key, and his putter got hot, and he pulled off a victory. And the last time he was at the Charles Schwab, so
Cool.
both of those guys are 100 to 1. So
yeah, love it. Paul, anybody else you got before we move over to Punta Cana?
Christian Bezaden, who's in the field, kids. We'll be betting him. And likely not winning, but that's all right.
And that's the one thing about this. Just remember, guys, is like Paul said earlier, Scottie Scheffler's in the field. So a lot of these guys are going to be based on value to win, but also the top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. We feel like these guys are going to be the top ranked guys to get those placements. So that's what we're trying to. Hopefully, we hit the big one, but not really counting on it. So we're more focused on the top placements. So that's what we're gearing our betting on this week.
So 11 guys so far. I have Henley, Davis, Young, Connors, Harmon, Glover, Kirk, Mr. Moore, Tom Hoagie, Emiliano Grillo, and Christian Bezaden so far. Now, will you guys add like Scottie to this card and put not a substantial amount, but enough to kind of hedge just in case Scottie does win? Or is this more of just kind of let the top 10s and 20s kind of ride you to the win here?
Yeah, like last week I did hedge with Scottie. This week I would not because of the fact that it being a shorter course, I feel like it brings more people into it. But with last week, I didn't think anyone could beat Scottie. Honestly, I did have a couple guys up there that gave me a little bit of sweat for a little bit, but then they fell off. So, it is what it is. But this week I will not be doing that. I'll be geared more towards the placements.
Cool. Any FRLs that stand out to you that you think might be worth a little sprinkle here?
Well, Cam Young 2 years ago was the FRL, so he's proven that he can go out fast here. Okay. I do like some of these guys that are on this. If you feel like you like one of them, like Davis, I feel like he can get out fast. A couple guys just get out faster. Connors gets out fast sometimes. Moore, Hogue, Grillo. Like the longer guys, just throw a couple bucks maybe. I don't really see anybody else that that's not on here as far as maybe a Bryce Garnett. I don't know, but he's more of a long course guy. So Tom Kim maybe comes in hot after his Sunday Masters. I don't know.
It's funny. I threw out Pavon right last week, and because I just feel like he's played well in first rounds, and he obviously doesn't come through. He's actually less odds. Most of the time, these odds are extended to be first round leader. Pavon is 75 to 1 to win, and he's 50 to 1 to be the first round leader. I don't understand how that math adds up, but whatever. Maybe it does.
Well, because maybe he's a fast starter, and then they know that he'll fall off.
Yeah, I guess maybe. See what happens.
Maybe Adam Svensson. He might be good to. I don't really like him for the tournament. Maybe for first round leader though.
For a little FRL. Svensson is sitting at. Let me see. 75 to 1 for FRL. So there's an option for you there. All right. Yeah. So card is complete. Anything else you guys got?
I do have one name to add.
Sure.
Brendan Todd.
I love that you said that.
For FRL or for?
It's gonna. At the odds he's at, it'll be both.
75.
I like it. He's one of those guys that straight off the tee approach.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he sat down with me, and
Oh, here we go.
The good luck is just rubbed off onto him. So I don't want to take a lot of credit for it, but where credit is due. All right, cool. So card right now we're looking: Brendan Todd, Bezaden, Grillo, Hoagie, Moore, Kirk, Glover, Harmon, Connors, Young, Davis, and Henley. Make sure you get those in. That will be a bow on the RBC, and we will move on to the Corrales Punta Cana Championship. Paul, what are we looking at Punta Cana this week?
Yep, Corrales Golf Course in Punta Cana. It is a par 72. It is long. It's over 7,600 yards.
Wow.
11 to 11 and a half on the stimps, or even slower. It's past Palm, as most of the island courses are. Those are the greens are past Palm, and the greens are large. They're almost double the size that we just talked about in Harbor Town. There's 6,000 square feet on average. There's double the acreage of rough as fairways. A lot of sand on the course. There are 5 water hazards with 6 holes having water in play, which is surprising for an island course. And then it's just a couple notes. Second longest course on tour. More than half of the maintenance staff has been at the course since construction. None of that's going to help us pick a winner, so I'm going to stop with the notes. Yeah. So yeah, long course, coastal, and that's the kind of guys that Chad will be telling us about.
Yeah, so we got it's right on the like literally right on the coast. Like the ocean is right next to you. There's not a lot of trees to block the wind, so wind is going to be a big thing here. Just like most Caribbean courses, though, like it's what we expect. That's why we take the guys like Akshay, in the wind to win. But yeah, like Paul said, it's really long, so you're gonna have to have some distance. So you take some guys out that are gonna be playing here, but it's gonna be like the same guys that we have been following for Mexico and Puerto Rico. It just seems like the same guys on these lesser events always do well. So we'll be looking at the same type of guys. It's not going to be anything we really need to go over a lot. So
I feel like one guy you can go ahead and take out is Kevin Kisner.
Yes.
For the simple fact that he is listed on both the RBC Heritage as the longest shot to win, but he's also listed on the Punta Cana Championship at what is this 250 to 1 to win as well too. So I'm not really sure if he can be at 2 places at once, but I think I would just avoid him altogether if you're looking for a recommendation.
Solid advice. I would fade Kevin Kisner.
Yes.
In both events. Yeah, he got a sponsor's exemption to RBC.
Oh, okay. I was like, how is he literally listed in both events? Like, how is this? I'm sure it's whatever, but I just thought that was hilarious.
Although a top 20 at RBC, could be a little tasty there.
Could be juicy. Moving on, Paul, Corrales Punta Cana Championship, top of the board. Who do we like here? We're looking at and targeting.
Doug Gim's higher on our model.
Okay.
He's 25 to 1, what I'm seeing. I would say at the top, it's him. I've talked about how I feel about Alex Noren in the past. I can't bet him at 14 to 1.
Yeah, I mean he should do well, but come on.
Yeah.
That's way too.
Anybody you like, Chad, up there?
I was looking at some guys that were high on our model, and they do well in the Caribbean. It's gonna be like Nate Lashley. I think he's at 25. That's kind of low for him, but he plays these courses so well that that's the reason why he's there. One of the newer guys, Rico Hoey. He's pretty high on our model. Comes in playing pretty well. So and his name keeps popping up every now and then on these smaller events. So I can back that guy at 80. Let me see here. Ben Martin. He's had 3 straight top 10s here. As course specialist, I would say. I think we got him at 35-1. So I would definitely be on him. Sam Ryder is another guy who does very well in some coastal backgrounds. Sam Stevens is a wind guy. He plays well usually in Texas. He's played well here. I think he was 3rd last year, actually. So I would back him. Hayden Buckley is another one. We can't go away from our boy Henrik Norlander. He plays well in the Caribbean. He's a pretty good short game. So, and then a couple guys that I just have a feeling about. I've seen them at the on the leaderboard here and there. Is Hayden Springer and Jimmy Stenger. A couple of guys that I've been watching lately that I've noticed that they've been on the tops of leaderboards of these smaller events like this. Seems like every time I'm watching them, so wouldn't want to miss out on one of those guys.
Say them again.
Hayden Springer and Jimmy Stenger.
Stanger?
Yeah.
Can't even find that guy.
Stang.
Oh, there he is right there. All right, cool. Paul, anybody you want to add to this card?
Did we say Henrik Norlander yet?
We did.
Yeah. He's probably got
so-
2.
So him and Matty Schmidt.
What about your old king of beers?
Bud Cauley?
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, he's in the field, so you know where I'll be at. Yeah, I would say Joel Damon's really long here. Like Joel
But
Damon in
He's
this
lost
field
his game.
is 50-1.
He's won here, but like,
We said
That
the
was-
same thing about Colin Morikawa last week.
Yeah,
And I thought.
Well,
that's
now that
about
you've said that, now there goes
And-
another shot.
and Tyrell Hatton as well too, who we were completely out on. By the way, during the show right now, Hayden Springer's odds moving down on Hard Rock Bet app. So I can see the red arrow pointed down means that they are adjusting to the boys mentioning.
Somebody
me.
took my advice already and
So,
loaded up. Wow.
here we are. Where's Schmid? I just want to make sure I have the
Will
entire
McGirt
card.
is in the field at 500-1.
Your twin.
Well,
All
you
right,
better
so-
go ahead and get on that top 20.
So far, what I have, Doug Gim, Nate Lashley, Rico Hoey, Ben Martin, Sam Ryder, Hayden Buckley, Henrik Norlander, Hayden Springer, Jimmy Stanger. I do have a Bud Cauley in here and a Matthias Schmid as well, too. Anybody else want to add to this?
What's the number on Justin Sue?
Justin Sue right now on Hard Rock Bet is
60-1.
Oh, that should be a play.
That's
Okay.
pretty good for a boy named Sue.
Oh, Jesus.
Grew up in the soup kitchen. Perfect. Any FRLs that you want to throw in here or no? Are we good with just what we got? Top 10s, top 20s, and kind of let it ride?
I would go Norlander.
Nico Echevarria.
Oh, that might be another name to. He's
for FRL.
what's his number? I would probably go both on them.
150.
He could probably play well.
Oh wait, did we say Joe Highsmith?
No,
you have not.
Yep. I'm on Joe Highsmith.
All right, so we'll add Joe Highsmith to this. Nikolai Echevarria. We have it 100-1 on Hard Rock. You said Echevarria,
Nico.
right?
yeah.
It's not Russian.
Echevarria.
Yeah, you called him Nikolai.
It's Nicola.
Nicola.
It's just Nico.
Nicolas.
Highsmith just dropped to 60 from 75.
Yo, Hard Rock, log off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why they listen to us?
Kind of crazy.
Like-
All right. Well, anything else we got?
I think that does it for me.
I'm good.
You guys want to touch on Rory going to live or no?
No, you want to
Sure.
touch on him? touch on fade the shit out of him.
Yeah, it just feels like to me he's trying to expedite this process that is their feet being dragged on, and I don't know if he'll actually do this deal or not. $850 million is a lot of money,
He's
but
already
it would definitely.
he's already said he gave an interview yesterday.
Yes.
So
PGA Tour for life.
He's not going. He doesn't know where the story came from. It's not true. He's never been offered money from Liv.
Can I say this though? Everybody who has said this and who has walked this line has ended up signing with Liv. It feels like. Is there somebody that I'm wrong about? That where there's smoke, there's no fire?
I mean, who's denied it? Who said I never got an offer and I'm never going to Liv?
Didn't Rom say that?
Rom said he liked where he was and he has no intentions of going. But that's, I mean, like professional athletes are, I'm happy where I am, and the next day they're demanding a trade. So I don't think Rom was as egregious as saying I'm never going to go and then going. But he's the only one I can think of that was like, nah, I'm good. And then he went. But
I do think it's funny how they go and then 6 months later they're immediately like, damn. Like,
yeah, it didn't even take Rom 6 months.
Yeah, it took him
5 events.
Yeah, not even. And he's just like, oh God, man. Whatever.
I miss competing.
I got a lot of money. I'm gonna wipe my tears away with $100 bills. We'll figure it out.
Wipe those tears away with Versace.
Is what it is. Hey guys, but before we log off, any picks to win the NBA championship this year? If you guys want to go ahead and get in.
Well, I got money on the Clippers. I'm not feeling too
losing in the first round.
I'm not feeling too great about it with Kawhi's injury, but there's only one team that come out of the East. That's Boston. We all know that right now.
Yeah.
The East is not going to win.
You don't think the East? I think Boston can beat anybody in the West.
Okay.
No?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I think they have the roster to do it.
Yeah.
You have to have ceiling series from all their players, though. You can't have Jaylen Brown take the 4 games off. So it's really going to come down to
you can't have Jaylen Brown being the ball hog either.
The team dynamic on if the Celtics can play team basketball, then they can beat anybody. I know who I'd like to see win, but I'm not getting into that conversation again.
All right.
I don't want to fire Chad up.
Oh no, Chad would be fine if that happens because Chad made bets that he knows how the NBA works. So,
Chad, good luck. Hopefully you avoid the sweep against the Atlanta Braves tonight as well too. Max Fried on the mound going against France for you guys. Should be another great game out there in Houston for the Braves. Is it just me or does it sound like a home game for the Braves? Sounds like there's a ton of Braves fans there.
You're a Braves fan, Jeff?
Yeah.
So it probably sounds like that then.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chad listened to it and he feels like there's more fans than usual. But we were talking about this though. It's like if you're a fan of a baseball team south of the Mason-Dixon line, it's either the Astros or it's the Braves pretty much. There's no other really.
Oh, you were watching it at home yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say because I thought you were, but then you left at one point. I was going to say I don't know how you heard the sound when I didn't hear the sound because we were in the same place.
Yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. Boys, we appreciate you. Any other thoughts before I get you out of here?
I'm good.
Yeah, no. Good luck.
Good luck this week. Have a great one. Jeremy, happy birthday to you. We are going to try and hopefully get out and maybe play some golf today. We'll see what happens. Boys, have a great weekend. Enjoy your week. God bless. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
See you later.
Later, boys. Jeremy, you got any birthday wishes? Anything you want to throw out there into the universe that you hope happens to you for your birthday?
I hope I make it to my shift on Friday at 1 o'clock. That's the only wish I have right now.
What do you have planned for Thursday?
Nothing. I said to one of my guests last night. I got no plans because I don't know what's gonna happen. And they said, well, at least you have another day. And I said, you know what? That's all it is. I got another day. I can, FaceTime with my nephew before the show. I can talk to Chris and Landon, or talk to Gigi and Andrew and Ian. That's all I want. I just want spend time with good people. It doesn't matter what it is doing.
We'll work it out for you. Happy birthday, bro. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can get out and play some golf today. We'll see what happens.
We'll try. We'll try. Schuler will let us. Oh, I can talk to him at 2 o'clock, and then maybe some Champions Gate today. You never know.
Love it. All right, sounds good.
Well, we'll do it for this edition of Gap Wedge Wednesday. We hope you guys get all your picks in. I look forward to Instagram. I will put this out in just a little bit. I got both for the RBC Heritage and for the Punta Cana. Got all those picks. You know what? Keep fading us, keep playing us, but we're here to help you make some money. And good luck on those bets. We'll see you guys next week.
Good luck this week, guys.